and 10. What is the perimeter of that? You guys, you just add it.
25.
It's going to be 25. So the perimeter is equal to 25. And I need a pencil. Hold on just a second. So you're going to add on that the perimeter is equal to 25. We're going to do these very quickly because we have something else to do. The perimeter for the number 2, and then find it. And I'll actually let you turn this in tomorrow because it's very easy. How do I find the perimeter of the number 2? What do I add?
You have to add all.
Just the sides, 30, 25, and 22. So 25 and 22 and 30. Perimeter is parading all around the edge. And so that is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 77. All right, so again, on 77, is that answer there? So number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Where is it? Oh, it's right here. So it's right here and shaded in. Again, the perimeter, we're doing these very quickly because they're very easy. The perimeter for number 3, does it include the 7? Does the perimeter include the 7? No, because you're parading around the outside edge. So again, it is 12.4, and then an 8.2, and another 8.2. 8.2, 8.2, and 12.4. And what's that? So on this one, 4 and 4 is 8. So 8 and 8 is 16, 17, 18. And 1 and 1 is 2. So 28.8, which is right here. So put your second answer. P is equal to 28.8. And then on this one again, it was perimeter is equal to 77. And we're going to go down to the 4 and the 8. And then I'll let you do the others later because they're pretty easy. Now, if I'm parading around my triangular garden on number 4, who knows the 3 numbers that I'm going to be adding up? Well, but is this 5 part of my triangular garden? There you go. It's going to be the 6, 5, and 9. So it's going to be the 9, 6, and the 5. And so that's going to be 15. 9 and 6 is 15, plus 5 more is 20. So the perimeter is equal to 20. And again, you can find these answers later. It's right here. Okay. And shade that in later. And let's go, and I'm going to let you do all the other perimeters later because we need to get on with the, oh, I forgot to do, we have to do the word problems. All right, on this one. Who knows the 3 sides that I'm going to add up on the number 8?
The 1.8, the 1.5, and the 3.
But is that 1.5 part of the triangle?
No.
No. I'm not parading around that. I'm parading around the 1.8, the 1.8, and the 3. Now, I've got the 1.8, the 1.8, but I can't add that 3 because it doesn't have a decimal. How do I put a decimal on that 3?
3.0.
Is 3.0, and I'll put it up here. So that's going to be 8 and 8 is 16. Carry that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And it's going to be 6.6. I forgot to bring my decimal point. And that is, so that perimeter is 6.6. And by the way, meters. And I'm walking around straight units. It's not square or cubic. And that is going to be right here. Okay. All right, so set that aside. I'll let you turn this in tomorrow with the rest of the perimeters done. But we're going to go on to, and the word problems, I said we were going to do, but we're just going to have to do it. I'm going to make up a word problem day. So go over to this one. Set the one from yesterday aside, and I'll come around and give you a stapler so you can staple the work. But right now, this is a trapezoid. A trapezoid is like a cut-off triangle. It's like a cut-off triangle. So, again, and by the way, go ahead and put that this is number 55. And let me also get a sheet of paper because I need to give you the formula. The formula to find the area of a trapezoid. Do you remember from yesterday, what was the formula for the area of a triangle? The area of a triangle. Well, not just 2. How did you find the area of a triangle? Okay, so a triangle, here's a rectangle. A rectangle is base times height. But a triangle is half of a rectangle. So it's going to be base times height divided by 2. And by the way, on the next test you have, you will be given the formulas. And Jesse, I'm going to have you move 1 over. 3rd seat back in this first row. Okay. But now you've got a trapezoid. And in fact, we'll do the number 1 and 2 right now. All right. So the trapezoid formula. Again, this is like a cutoff triangle. In fact, here's the base, here's the height, but the thing on a trapezoid is you don't have just one base, you have 2 bases. So on a trapezoid, and I'll draw a picture if you need to do that on your notes. Okay. The bases are base 1, base 2, or base 2, base 1, or base 1, base 2, it doesn't matter. Is they're both parallel. So here is the formula that you need to write down to find the area of a trapezoid. So the area of a trapezoid, it's going to look very similar to that, except for the fact that a trapezoid has 2 bases. So you're going to add up the bases. So write this formula down. You're going to add up the bases, and we're actually finding an average by dividing the whole thing by 2. But it's still the same. It's the sum of the bases, like a triangle, times the height, and the whole thing divided by 2. And you have a NWEA test coming up. Does anybody remember on the NWEA if you had to find the area of a circle or trapezoid? You did have that on it? Okay, because we're going to be getting into circles next. So let's go ahead and see how we do this. So here is my trapezoid on the number 1. Who can tell me what the 2 bases are? The 2 bases are parallel. Who thinks they know the 2 numbers?
Well, 21 and 12.
Very good. The 21 and the 12. So I'm going to start my formula by putting 21 plus 12. And I know my recipe, you can't cook without following the recipe, so you follow this recipe or formula. It tells me once I do everything, I'm going to divide the whole thing by 2. And then what do you think the height is of this trapezoid? 4. It goes straight. You look for this right angle, which again points to, in fact, this one just points to one of the bases, but it points to the base and the height. So the height goes straight up from the bases. So the height is 4. Now, looking at this, who knows what you'd have to do next? Okay, so let's add 21 and 12, but then I'm going to show you a shorter way. 21 plus 12 is 33 times 4 divided by 2. In fact, I'm going to show you a shorter way right now. Does that, rather than go 4 times that and get a great big number and then have to divide by 2, does 2 go into either of these 2 numbers?
4.
It goes into the 4, so you can reduce it, which we did on the last test. You need to know how to reduce. So I'm going to divide both of those by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is what? Is 2. So our answer is, when I multiply these two together, what's 33 times 2? It's going to be 66. And on this, it is going to be 66. And again, it is basically base times height. It is two-dimensional. So it gets a square. We're not going to do too many of these. I'm going to save all of these word problems. We're going to have a word problem day maybe as soon as tomorrow.
What was number 1?
Number 1 is, again, you should have had it all written down. All right, and then let's look at your number 2. All right, so it's a trapezoid. Don't be trapped by thinking it's a parallelogram or a rectangle, because it's not. If this kept going, it would be a triangle. And again, the triangle formula is base times height divided by 2. On number 2, the area of a trapezoid, though, is how many bases do I have? Do I just have one base?
Yes.
I've got 2. What are the 2 bases? The 2 parallel sides. So the trapezoid is the sum of the 2 bases times the height. What's the height of that trapezoid?
12.
Times 12. It goes straight up. And the recipe, or my formula, says, okay, how am I going to cook this problem? Okay, sum of the bases times height divided by 2. Divided by 2. And in fact, before I even add, is there anything that I can reduce?
12.
Yeah, and by the way, I cannot reduce that 12. It's like inside the jail. I can't touch, there's a free guy, these guys are inside the jail. I can reduce it with this 12 that's outside. So I can reduce that. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is what?
6.
Is 6. So now let's go ahead and finish this up. 12 plus 9,
Equals
21, very good, times the 6. Can anybody see what that's going to be in their head?
126.
I think you're right. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 1 is 6, 126. What's that? All right, so again, it's going to be the area, I'm sorry for the sun, I can't help it, is 126 square feet. All right, let's see if there's any. I don't want to do the one with the, well, we could do the one with the fraction.
No, I'm okay.
No, you're not okay, Jesse. Okay. All right, so actually this one is, oh, this is a good one. Okay, let's go ahead and do the number 6. We're not going to do all of them. We'll do the number 4 and the 6, and then we're going to be done. Again, I'm going to save the word problems from yesterday, the word problems from the day and before, and I will put those all together probably tomorrow. All right, so on the number 6, what shape is this? Is it a trapezoid? Is it a triangle? Is it a parallelogram?
Parallelogram.
But hold on, is this side, the top, parallel to the bottom? Yeah, don't be fooled. It is not a parallelogram. It is this one is a trapezoid. In fact, if I turn it this way, okay, who can see the 2 parallel sides?
The 9.5 and the 11.
There you go. So it's this side is parallel to this side. A trapezoid has one set only one set. It's very important that you know that. Only one set of parallel sides. The other 2 will not be parallel. Just like on this one, this was parallel to this, but the other sides are not. The top was parallel to the bottom, but the other sides are not. The top is parallel to the base, or they're both bases, but the other sides are not, and so on. So this time, sometimes I have to turn it to see. This is parallel to this, but the other sides are not. So a trapezoid only has one set of parallel sides. So the formula is, who knows what I have to do first?
9.5.
You have to add your 2 bases. So 9.5 and 11.5 times the what? Look at the formula that you wrote down. Times your height. And here it is. You can't see it here. They're saying it's right here. But what is that? That goes straight up. It's going to be 8. Okay. Goes straight up from one of the bases. So that's going to be 8. And then we divide the whole thing by what?
2.
By 2. Now, is there anything that you can reduce?
8.
You can reduce the 2. 2 goes into 2 once. 8 goes into 2 4 times. Now, who thinks they know what 9.5 and 1.5 is? You should be able to do that mentally.
20.5. Is it 20.5?
I need one brainiac to tell me what, not without doing any work,
It's in the hole.
what, did I put 11.5? Oh yeah, it is 11.5. What 9.5 and 11.5 is?
20. 20.5. No, it'd be 20. 99.
Okay, say it, Sam.
It'd be 21.
It's going to be 21.
Half and a half.
Because a half and a half is a what? Is one whole. So 9 and 11 is 20, plus one more whole is 21 times 4. And then who knows the final answer?
84.
It is 84. And so we're going to go ahead and put that there. That is 84 square feet. And do you have any decimals on this side? Yes, you do. So we're going to do. In fact, we're going to go flip it over on the back side. And you're going to continue using your line paper. And again, this is 55, and we're doing the D58. Okay. Doing the D58. So we're going to go to your number 6. We're going to do a couple of your decimal problems. Again, and you might want to write the formula here again. The area for the trapezoid is the sum of the two bases times the height of the trapezoid divided by 2. So 8 is an interesting one. How can I tell what the two bases are on the number 6? Both bases should be what? It starts with a P.
Parallel.
They should be parallel. Who knows which two sides are parallel?
So 1.5.
Yeah, and again, parallel means they have the same exact slant. So parallel. As opposed to, when you get to your test in a couple weeks, perpendicular it forms a right angle. But we're looking for right now our parallel sides, and I might have to turn it to see it. The parallel sides are the 1.5 and the 2.5. So let's go ahead and start that one. So the number 6, area of the trapezoid, is the sum of my two bases. So what are the two bases? Haley, can you see what the two bases are on number 6? The two that are parallel. Very good. Very good. This is parallel to that, so it's going to be the 1.5 plus the 2.5, which is just like 1.5 and 2.5. And then what's the height of our trapezoid? What number goes straight up from the base? The 2.8. In fact, again, we always said look for the right angle symbol. It points to the base, one of the bases in this case, and for sure the height. So the height is 2.8 divided by, the formula says divided by 2. All right. Then, let's see, what should we do first? Who thinks they know? This one I'm going to work out. Who thinks they know what 1.5 and 2.5 is? 1.5 and 2.5.
3.
Very good. It is 4. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, 1 and 2 is 3, but a half and another half is another 1. So it is going to be 4 times 2.8 divided by 2. So is that 2? Does that 2 go into either of our numbers on top?
Yes, 4.
The 4. So let's go ahead and reduce that out. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So all we need to do is go 2 times 28 with the decimal. So 2.8 times 2, and show your multiplication. Johnny, get this down. Because I've already done, and I should see it on your paper, we've already done 1, 2, 3, and we're working on the 4th. You should have 4 worked out problems. And so this one is going to be 2 times 8 is 16, carry. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Who knows where the decimal is going to go?
In the middle,
in the middle, because 2 times 2 is 4. The closest answer to 4 is if that decimal were going to go here or one place in. So our answer is, and look for your answer, it's mandatory. I'm taking 10 points off every time you don't check your answer bank. It is 5.6, and it is right here. And you can do the puzzle if you want. I personally don't like these puzzles because they just take a lot of time looking for that F. But for sure, cross out the answer, and that is the area is 5.6 square meters. Everything I give you is homework, whatever we finish. All right, so we haven't, okay, so let's do a few more, and then I'm going to leave you. Let's go to the number 8. All right, so let's go to the number 8. In fact, it tells you your 2 bases. So we just have to plug everything in. So on number 8, area of a trapezoid, who knows what we have to do first? What does your recipe tell you to do? Yeah, in fact, again, I said, look at the recipe says add the 2 bases, multiply by the height, divided by 2. So we're going to add the 2 bases, put the 3.4 plus the 6.4. What is the height? And by the way, do I need that 0? No, we can just put times 5 divided by 2. And nothing is going to go in yet because, again, I can't go into the jail. I've got to add these first. So this is going to be 9 point, who knows what? 9.8. 9.8 times 5 divided by 2. Can I cut 98 in half? Is that an even number? Yeah, because it ends with a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Does anybody know what's half of 100? 50. Half of 98 would be 1 less. 49. Or I could have always gone 98 divided by 2 goes 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, get 1. Bring down. 2 into 18 is 9. So it's going to be 4.9. So this is going to be, cross that out, and put 4.9. Okay. Who knows the final thing that we need to do? Multiply the 4.9 times 5. So I'll just do it right here. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. And where does the decimal go? Between the 4 and the 5. And find your answer. And it's right here. And we'll put it right 24.5 square meters. All right. And then we're going to go down, and I think I'm going to leave you with just a few. We're going to go down and do this one down here. I'm sorry about the sun and the shade. I can't help it. All right. It says, an artist designed a base for one of his sculptures with the dimensions shown below. The top and the bottom are rectangles. It doesn't look like it, but they are. The top and the bottom are rectangles. The sides are isosceles trapezoids. Allegra, sit up. All right. Does anybody know what the word isosceles means? Look at the two S's. An S there, and don't worry about the last S. What isosceles means is when two sides, SS, when two sides are the same, when they are congruent. So if I have an isosceles trapezoid, that means that this side is the same as this side.
I thought that was symmetrical.
No. All right, so let's go ahead and see what it says. It says, find the area of the front face. Well, what is the shape of this front? Is that a parallelogram? Is it a rectangle? A parallelogram, the top and the bottom have to be the same number. Are these the same number? No. And a rectangle, it has to be the same number. It's not a rectangle. Who thinks they know what shape that is? A trapezoid. This is two parallel sides, and the other sides are not parallel. So we're going to find the area using the trapezoid formula. So on the number 10, who knows the two bases that are parallel? The 15 and the 20. So those two are parallel. So again, area of a trapezoid. Johnny, get this down. Sit up. So we're going to add the bases, the sum of the bases, which is 15 plus 20, times the height. Who thinks they know what the height is? It is 6. It goes straight up from the base. And the recipe says to do what then? Divided by 2. By the way, is there anything that I could reduce at this point? The 6. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 6 3 times. And then we're almost done. 15 plus 20 is 35 times the 3. And then
105.
it's going to be 105. 3 times 5 is 15, and I'm going to carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. So that answer is 105 square centimeters. So we'll put it right here. 105 square centimeters. And find your answer. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Okay. And then it says find the area of the side face. Well, here's the side. Who knows what shape that is?
Trapezoid.
It is a trapezoid because the top and the bottom are not the same. It cannot be a parallelogram or a rectangle. So we're going to find the area of that trapezoid. So who knows on that side, what are the two bases? What are the two sides that are parallel?
12 and the 8.
The 12 and the 8. Yeah, those are parallel. So we're going to sum the two bases.
Is this number 11?
This is number 11. And what is the height of that trapezoid? It is going to be 6. And our recipe or our formula says, then take the whole thing and divide it by 2. Can you reduce anything out? I'm so sorry that this is coming out so bad. I need to get a screen or a curtain over for this. So yes, you can reduce out that 6. Let me see if I can turn on this light. All right, so I can reduce this out with this. And then who knows what 8 and 12 is? 20. So, and this is a mental one now. 20 times 3 is what? is 60.
64.
So that one is going to be 60 square centimeters. And find your answer and cross it off. There it is. And then let me see if they've already told us, but who knows the shape of the top? Sir, sit up, please. It's not a square because the sides aren't the same.
It's a parallelogram.
It looks like a parallelogram. I'll give you that. They said the top is a rectangle, but it's okay. It's the same formula because the 15 base is the same as the other side, 15. The 8 here is the same as this. So that should be easy for a square, a rectangle, and a parallelogram. It's the easiest formula. What's the easiest formula? Say it again. You can't just say base. It's base times what? Base times height. The formula for an area of a parallelogram, a square, and a rectangle is just base times height. So on this top, what is the base of the top? 15. So that's going to be 15 times, what's the height of this? Is going to be 8. And we just have to multiply that together. 15 times 8 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you are right, 120. Okay, so that is going to be 120 square centimeters. Let me see. Yes. Alrighty, so let's see what we've got left. So all you have left, girls and boys, we've done, you only have 5 problems.
That's too hard.
Jesse, stop being lazy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. You don't even have 5. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I put this answer in the wrong spot. No, I didn't. You don't have to do number 6. We've already done it. So you've got 1, 2, 3.
3 and gold.
And 5. Oh, we have a couple more. These 2. We'll go ahead and do the number 4 with you. Okay, the number 4. Who knows the bases on the number 4? Johnny, I know you've been paying attention, so what are the bases on the number 4? Are those parallel, 3.2 and 1.6? Okay, so which 2 are parallel? Yes. So again, the area on number 4, the area of the trapezoid is the sum of the 2 bases, which is the 2 parallel sides, 3.2 plus 1.4, times the height. What is the height? 1.6. And then and divided by 2. All right. Can I cut that 16 in half? Yes. What's half of 16?
8.
So let's add and reduce at the same time. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 16 divided by 2 is 8, but it needs a what? Can I just take away the decimal? So what is this going to be? 0.8 or 8 point? 0.8. So let's add these 2. That's going to be 4.6 times 0.8. Let's see, Jen Franco, here, come get this. You're gonna have to watch the whole video at home. Alrighty, and so let's go ahead and multiply that first without the decimals. So, but ma'am, we need to know the process. So that's going to be 48, 32, 33, 34, 35. But this time a decimal was here and was here. Who knows where I put the decimal?
3.68.
Yeah, you have to move it over 1 place, 2 places. 1, 2, and it goes right here. Find your answer, and it is right here, and it is 3.68 square centimeters. So, girls and boys, I think that's going to be it. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 5. That's 4, 5. You have 6 problems to do.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 7.
The ones that we have not done. You do all the ones that we have not done. Kylie, could you go ahead and turn on the light?
Can I get my water?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, are we already?